Hi, welcome back. Now we're going to focus on module number 3, which is subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement is one of the most common as well as one of the most costly mistakes that students make in their academic writing. So I want to focus on that particular problem throughout this module. So the subject and verb in a sentence must agree in two ways. And if you remember in module number 2, I showed you how to actually find subjects and verbs in sentences. So this shouldn't be that difficult for you to kind of continue on with that particular lesson. And now since we have what subject and verbs are in the sentence, we have to make them agree or match. And there are two ways that a subject and verb must agree or match. One of the ways is a subject and verb must agree in number. This means that a singular subject obviously takes on a singular verb, and a plural subject obviously takes on a plural verb. And the singular form of all regular action verbs, and we have two exceptions of be and have, is formed by adding s or es at the end of that verb. For example, I have some verbs there for you to look at to show you what I'm talking about. We have our examples. Goes is a singular action verb. Fishes is a singular action verb. Swims, eats, and walks are all singular action verbs, and I've added an s or an es to those verbs to show that they are singular. And the singular forms of be and have are is and has. So if you notice those singular forms of those two verbs, you don't just simply add the s or es. You have to actually change the spelling of those two verbs to form the singular form. The singular form of a verb is used when the subject is he, she, or it, and those three are examples of third-person singular pronouns. The singular form of a verb is also used with a singular indefinite pronoun, and I have some of those in parentheses for you as examples: anyone, everyone, somebody, each. And I will show you in a later PowerPoint a list. I will give you a list of singular indefinite pronouns. And the singular form of a verb is used when you have a singular noun, obviously. Let's look at our example I have here for you. The athlete runs around the track. So runs, again, like we learned in module number 2, find your verb first of all. The verb is runs. Now we know it's a regular action verb that has an s at the end, so we know it's singular. So now, who or what runs? To find our subject, we ask that question. Athlete is the answer to that question. Athlete is singular. It matches our singular verb, runs. The plural form of a verb does not end as a singular verb does, like I told you before. Plural verbs are used when the subject is I, you, we, or they, or you have an actual plural noun. Our example we have here, similar to the first one, the athletes run around the track. Again, let's find our verb, run. It's an action verb that does not have an s at the end of it, so we know it's plural. So who or what run. Let's find our subject. Athletes with an s is the answer to that question, so we know athletes is plural, and we have a plural verb, run. The subject must also agree with its verb in person. Okay, this means that a subject and its verb must both be in the same person, whether it's first, second, or third person. And I will give you a list of pronouns in another module of first, second, and third person pronouns. Example 1 is a first person as one of our subjects of the sentence. I play in the sand when I visit the beach. Play is our verb, not plays. We have a singular first person pronoun as our subject, I. So who or what play? I play. I is singular, play is also singular. Again, this is for first person pronouns as our subject. Example 2 is a second person pronoun as our subject. You are, not be or is, required to pass all of your classes to receive a degree. Let's find our verb. Are is our verb. Who or what are? You is our subject. We have our second person pronoun matching our verb, are. And our third example is a third person pronoun as our subject. Third person as our subject. Jonathan likes, not like, to visit his father during the summer. Likes is our singular verb, has an S at the end of it, so we know it's singular. Who or what likes? Jonathan is our singular third person as our answer to the question who or what likes. So we know Jonathan is our singular subject, matching likes, which is our singular verb. Now, as I told you before, many students have difficulties with subject-verb agreement in a sentence. So there are several trouble spots in signal errors in subject-verb agreement that I want to focus on and introduce you to in this module. Okay. The first trouble spot is the verb as a form of be, have, or do. And I have a list of those be verbs for you. Am, is, are, was, were, been, and being. Also, I have a list of the have verbs. There are only 3 of them: have, has, and had. And I have a list of the do verbs: do, does, and did. Again, only 3 of those. Try to familiarize yourself with these 3 sets of verbs as soon as you can, so that'll eliminate confusion later on with subject-verb agreement. So my example number 1 is, I am, not be, in a great mood today. Unfortunately, some people do speak like this by saying, I be in a great mood today. That's wrong. Be is never going to be the actual verb of the sentence. So our form of be that we need to match our singular first person subject of I is am. I am in a great mood today. Our second example, Marie has a job that pays well. Find our verb has, third person singular, not have. Who or what has? Marie has. Marie is our singular third person subject. And our last example, the boys do their homework every night. Find our verb. Do is our verb. It's plural. Plural verb, do. Who or what do? Boys do. We have a plural verb, a plural subject, boys, that match our plural verb, do. Our second trouble spot, again, that might indicate problems with subject-verb agreement. The words or phrases come between the subject and the verb. When you add extra words in a sentence, that might cause some confusion. So we have to eliminate those words to find what our subject and our verbs are in that actual sentence. Our first example is, the dogs that live in the parking lot bark all day. I've underlined the extra, the additional words that don't go with the subject or the verb of the sentence, and those words are, that phrase is, that live in the parking lot. We know that live in the parking lot is a dependent clause. It cannot be the subject or verb of our sentence, so we're left with the dogs bark all day. Bark is our plural verb. It's a regular action verb without the S, so we know it's plural. Who or what bark? We have to ask again that question to find out what our subject is. The answer is dogs bark, and dogs is a plural subject. Okay. Our second example, goalies rather than defensive players often receive most of the publicity. Rather than receive players is our additional words that do not have anything to do with our subject and our verb of the sentence. So we have receive as our plural verb, action verb without an S. So we know it's plural. Who or what receive? Goalies is our plural subject. So we have subject-verb agreement. And our last example, Donnie, along with his sister, is studying law. Is studying is our singular verb. Remember, you have your helping verb is and your main verb studying. Both words will be the verb of the sentence. So who or what is studying? Donnie is studying. And remember, in a previous module, we talked about prepositional phrases. And in this case, along with his sister is a prepositional phrase. So we know any words in that phrase will not be a part of our subject and our verb. So don't include sister as part of the subject of the sentence. Only Donnie is. Our third trouble spot when we're dealing with subject-verb agreement is there is a compound subject, which means more than one subject for one verb, and we talked a little bit about that in Module 2. Our example here, the golfers and their caddies look ready for the golf course. Look is our plural verb. It's an action verb without an S, so we know it's plural. Who or what look? Golfers, caddies. We have two subjects, golfers, caddies, which makes the subject plural. So plural subject goes with a plural verb. The White Sox and the Cubs, example number 2, are both Chicago teams. Are is our plural verb, Who are what are? White Sox, Cubs. 2 subjects for 1 verb. So 2 subjects mean that we have a plural verb also. And checkers and chess take a lot of concentration. Take is our plural verb. Who are what take? Checkers, and chess. We have a plural subject that goes with our plural verb. Our 4th trouble spot that might give us a little bit of confusion with subject-verb agreement is when the subject is an indefinite pronoun. And I have in parentheses the definition of what indefinite pronoun is. It does not refer to a specific thing or person. I have an example sentence here. Everyone eats in the cafeteria. We have our verb eats. Who or what eats? Everyone. Despite popular belief, everyone is an indefinite pronoun that is always going to be singular. So our singular subject, everyone. Our singular verb eats. Remember, action verb with an S indicates we have a singular verb. Our example 2, someone in this class probably connects to you in one way or another. Connects is our singular verb, regular action verb with an S. We know it's singular. Who or what connects? Someone is our singular indefinite pronoun. That's our subject. And our last example, few of the passengers need oxygen masks. Need is our plural verb. Who or what need? Few is our plural subject. Okay. I have a list here. I'm kind of going away from the other trouble spots that I'm going to get to in a minute. I want to focus a little bit on indefinite pronouns. Some of them are always going to be singular, some of them are always going to be plural, and then you have those few that can be either singular or plural depending on what that pronoun or noun is referring to in the sentence. So I have a list here of always singular pronouns, and it starts with another and it ends with someone. And I have a list here of always plural indefinite pronouns, both, several, others, few, and many. And then I have some that can be singular or plural depending on what they modify in the sentence, and I have a list of those starting with all and beginning with some. So it's a good rule of thumb to become familiar with this list so that you can know which ones are always singular, know automatically which ones need a singular verb, which ones are always plural that need a plural verb, so forth and so on. Okay. So try to learn your list as soon as you can. Okay. Now back to our trouble spots when we have subject-verb agreement issues in a sentence. The 5th one is the verb comes before the subject. That might cause an issue with us, and we might not be able to have our subject and our verb agree in that particular sentence. We have a couple of examples. Where is the bus to Main and Center Streets? Our verb is. It's singular. Who or what is? Bus is. Bus is also singular, so our subject does agree with our verb. How are your brother and sister? Find our verb, or. We know it's plural, so we have to look for a plural subject. Who or what are? Brother, sister, are. In our last example, what are the requirements for completing the math course? Are is our plural verb. Who or what are? Requirements are. So we know we have a plural verb with a plural subject. Our 6th trouble spot, subjects connected by the words and or by both and. These subjects usually require a plural verb. That's our general rule of thumb, but sometimes we do have exceptions. Our example here is regular exercise and dieting are important for staying healthy. Are is our plural verb. We have a coordinating conjunction and that connects our 2 subjects, exercise, dieting. So we know we have a compound subject, which makes our subject plural, and if we have a compound subject, we do need a plural verb. Another example here, both Margot and her nephew have participated in half marathons. Have participated is our plural verb. Who or what have? Margot, nephew, have. Okay? Which is, of course, plural. We do have some exceptions to our rule number 6, however, as indicated on your screen. Let's look at our first exceptions to number 6. A singular verb is needed when a compound subject refers to the same person or thing. For example, vinegar and oil is my least favorite salad dressing. Is our singular verb. It's making reference to the least favorite salad dressing, which is one kind. So we know that we should have a singular subject there. Okay? So a singular verb, excuse me. Ham and cheese is my favorite kind of sandwich. We're making reference to the favorite kind of sandwich it is. It's not 2 or 3 different types of sandwiches. No, it's just one kind of sandwich. So we need our singular verb is. Exception number 2 to rule number 6. Use a singular verb when a compound subject is preceded by each, every, many a, or many an. For example here, each owner and tenant has a copy of the lease agreement. We have each as our singular indefinite pronoun, so we know we're going to need a singular verb. In this case, it's has. Okay? Every cable and pulley, example number 2, receives a monthly inspection. Receives is our singular subject because we have a compound subject that's preceded by every. Okay? So we do need our singular verb there. Exception number 3 to rule 6 is you need to use a plural verb when a compound subject is followed by each. Okay, so it's the opposite of what the exception number 2 was that I just went over with you. Example here, the boy and his dog each wear a hoodie sweatshirt. Wear is our plural verb in reference to dog and boy, but because we have the word each right before our verb, we need to have a plural verb automatically. Seth and his girlfriend each have a library card. Have is plural in reference to Seth and girlfriend, and each comes right before the verb, so we still do need our plural verb there. And our 7th trouble spot, getting away from our exception to rule number 7, we're back now to our list of trouble spots, which is number 7. Another trouble spot can occur when the subject consists of 2 or more words connected by neither or, neither nor, or not only but also. In this case, the verb in the sentence agrees with the subject that is closer to it, and that's key. So whatever the subject is that's closest to the verb, that's what the verb is going to be. Okay? Our example here. Either the professor or his teaching assistants grade the exams. Now, my verb is grade. It's a regular action verb without an S, so I know it's going to be plural. So my plural subject in reference to grade, who or what grade? Assistants grade. Okay, so again, assistants is our subject we have to match with our verb, and that's plural and plural, because assistants is closest to our verb grade. Our second example, neither the politicians nor the voters show much interest in state laws. Again, our verb is show. First rule is find your verb, show. Who or what show? Because we have neither nor, we have to go with the subject or the noun that's closest to the verb. In this case, it's voters. Voters is plural, so I automatically have a plural verb with show. As you can probably see, subject-verb agreement can be confusing for students in any type of formal academic writing or language. So I've just gone over with a few trouble spots that might occur and how to eliminate those trouble spots in subject-verb agreement. And I hope this helps with your writing, and good luck to you. Thank you.